because Dad prefers them.
Yeah.
We can all agree on this, right?
From my perspective, Cody did not choose us. My kids and I wanted to be a part of this family and wanted to be accepted and loved by everyone. We really, truly, my kids and I have felt like we got voted off the Brown family island.
So a few days after the confrontation, we got a text message from McKelty saying that Robyn and her kids weren't going to participate in this year's gift exchange. And it kind of hurt.
Hey friends, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome back to my channel. It is Sunday, March 10th, 2024. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Madison Brown, who happens to be the older sister of Garrison Brown, paid tribute to her younger brother in a touching and heartbreaking tribute on her Instagram. The probably most heartfelt at this point, as more of the family members have had time to process everything that happened just under a week ago. And Robyn Brown is getting dragged all over the internet because fans went to My Sister Wives Closet, which is a website that has not been updated since 2019, and they found a bracelet that Robyn created in 2017 to honor her brother. And Robyn wrote a blog about it, but because this item is the first item that's featured for sale, fans are incorrectly assuming that Robyn is marketing and selling a bracelet to honor Garrison and monetizing what happened to him and trying to flip a profit on his passing. I'm going to show to you some evidence about why this simply is just outrage in the wrong direction. And if you want to get upset with Robyn, there's many reasons, but this probably shouldn't be one of them. It's been a very emotional week, and all over the internet, people are going through their range of emotions because fans who watched the show, and even people that didn't watch the show, are upset learning the news about Garrison Brown, learning about what happened to him. Fans are very divided on whether or not they have any empathy at all for Cody and have Robyn, or if they just blame Cody and Robyn for everything. Personally, I don't have a lot of empathy for Cody and Robyn when it comes to the situation. Though it is tragic what happened to them, it's hard, given the last season, how everything played out so publicly, to not feel more sadness for Janelle and the kids and Christine and Mary than it would be for Robyn and Cody, because they're the ones. Janelle and Christine are the ones that have been trying to pick up the pieces of these kids and their broken hearts for years. And Cody and Robyn have just been pouring fuel onto an out-of-control fire. And the fire exploded this week with what happened with Garrison. So Maddie's tribute was posted on her Instagram earlier today, and she wrote, "Grief I've learned is really just love. It's all the love you want to give but cannot. All the unspent love gathers up in the corners of your eyes, the lump in your throat, and that hollow of your chest. Grief is just love with no place to go. Jamie Anderson." I don't know who that is. "My words seem to fall short. Our hearts are broken, and we are all now swallowed with the love now left behind for this beautiful brother. God be with you till we meet again. I'll see you at the gates of Valhalla, feasting with our ancestors who battled before you. Until then, we must live in a more gray world without the light that you brought." She clearly had a lot of time to think about what she was going to say, and I thought that was a sweet tribute to her brother. Maddie has not been living in Utah or in Arizona or really with the family in a long time. She and Caleb have been married for a long time, and she got married very young, and so she hasn't been necessarily around Garrison on a day-to-day basis, but that didn't stop Garrison from having a good relationship with his nieces and nephews. And she posted a cute photo of him taking photographs of the stars And Axel and Evie's on his lap. Axel sort of scooted up right next to him. And it's just another sort of reminder of the kindness that Garrison had. There's no denying that Garrison was and took pride in his family, loved being an uncle, loved being a big brother, loved being a younger brother, loved his older sisters and brothers, loved his younger sisters and brothers. Family was very, very important to him. More important to him than it was to Cody, it seems. So the tribute by Madison is very touching, very sweet, and obviously she's been receiving an outpouring of love and affection and condolences from people that follow her. Her post was shared by multiple siblings on their Instagrams, and Janelle shared the post on her Instagram through her stories. It seems as though each day more of the family members are sort of coming forward and sharing their thoughts and their feelings about what's happening. His brothers haven't said anything just yet, which is, I feel like Savannah and Gabriel are probably going to be the very last to ever say anything, because Gabriel was there. Savannah still lives with her mom. This is going to be very, very raw for them. Peyton also, who was close to Garrison, hasn't said anything, and Gwendolyn, who is also really close to Garrison, hasn't said anything yet. And honestly, like I said, it's probably just very hard for them to process what's happened. They were not prepared. He wasn't sick. This wasn't supposed to happen. He was young, and they need to have time to grieve in the comfort of without outside voices. And while some of them are feeling the need to say something, which is wonderful, I think anyone that is watching from afar, just to remind people that nobody has to say anything publicly. Robyn Brown, her Instagram is getting destroyed right now. And I am not a fan of Robyn, by the way. I think all of you know that. But people are demanding that Robyn make a comment on Garrison. And I'm going to be the devil's advocate here and say the last person that should say anything is Robyn. If Robyn sends her condolences to Garrison, if she sends her condolences to Garrison, she's going to get destroyed, because everyone knew how Garrison felt about her. If she were to put out a post and say that she loved him and that she's so sorry and she's heartbroken, no one would believe her. And everyone would get mad at her if she did, because everyone knows that Garrison didn't like her and she did not like Garrison. She could always say, I loved those boys, but her actions never showed that she loved those boys. So people that are leaving her nasty comments on her Instagram are just attacking her for the sake of attacking her, which I don't think is productive. I don't think it's helpful. It's easy. I mean, if you want to say something, say it on your own platform. Don't leave her a comment. That's kind of how I view things. Like on my Instagram, I've made lots of comments. I've been very critical of Cody. I have been very critical of TLC. I do think that TLC not responding, not putting out anything on their public platforms, the production companies not putting out anything publicly, looks bad. The companies that are the profiting off of him the most have said the least. Puddle Monkey Production, they took down their website. Figure Eight Films have said nothing. The producers, Christopher Poole, Bill Hayes, and Tim Gibbons, have said nothing. The three men that have profited the most and have become multimillionaires, Timothy Gibbons, who has homes in multiple states, is like living a luxurious lifestyle on the backs of this family and at the pain of the children, has said nothing. Nor has Christopher Poole, nor has Bill Hayes from Figure Eight Films. These are the people that I would be like, you need to say something. Those are the people I want to hear from. I don't want to hear from Robyn. That's just my opinion. TLC has said nothing publicly other than to express condolences to the Brown family through a statement to People magazine. Whenever something bad happens with TLC, they don't like to address it. They don't put out statements. Like when the Josh Duggar stuff happened, TLC did not put anything on their public platforms, draw any negativity to the fact that they participated in the production of a show that promoted a cult. Same thing with Sister Wives. Same thing with Sister Wives. So I want to just bring you up to date about what's going on with Robyn and why everyone's mad at Robyn. And again, there's a lot of reasons to be mad at Robyn, but this is not one of them. I started getting, because earlier today, someone posted in a Facebook group, look what Robyn Brown posted for sale in the wake of Garrison's tragic passing. And it's a photograph of a bracelet that she is selling on My Sister Wives Closet called, it's an awareness bracelet that she has been selling for 7 years. And it says, choose to keep going, sterling silver S awareness men's ID bracelet. And as it's been making the rounds that people are seeing this, my inbox has been exploding as people believe that she posted this in the wake of his passing. So if you go to My Sister Wives Closet, Robyn has not updated My Sister Wives Closet's website since 2019. Robyn has not added new products since 2019. Robyn has not promoted this company or their products since 2019. This company only has like inventory on it that's left. That's it. There's nothing new that's been added, and the products have been all the same for years. When you go to the main page for My Sister Wives Closet under products, the very first item is the sterling silver bracelet. This bracelet was posted onto this website in 2017. She created this bracelet in honor of her brother Paul Sullivan Jr., who died the same way as Garrison. She wrote, "This sterling silver ID bracelet is to bring awareness and support survivors and those left behind. The semicolon helps a sentence not to be the end, but to keep it going. It's a symbol to remind people that their story isn't over. More people need to realize there is help, there are resources, it's okay to ask for that help and to talk about it. There are always people that care more than you can realize." And then she said, "A portion of every sale will be donated to Project Semicolon," which she linked there with a website to Project Semicolon, which is a nonprofit that provides resources and help for people that are survivors that have been left behind, and then those who have attempted and survived, and to help build awareness for this. And she listed the hotline, which was not 988. So it was before 988 came out. This product has been on her website since 2017. She wrote a blog about it in 2017. This product has been featured in the same position on the website. When I went through the web archives and I looked at the saved pages for this item, it has been listed as a featured product since 2019 or 2020. So it hasn't changed position on the website. It's been in the same spot. It's been the featured product. So she hasn't done anything. She hasn't changed anything. She hasn't promoted anything. It's literally, the website has been static for years, and that product has been in the exact same place for years. The price hasn't changed, nothing. There were 2 bracelets that she sold. One has literally been sold out for 6 years. She's not adding new inventory. So people are getting mad at her thinking she created this for Garrison, but she didn't. And I just want to show you the blog she wrote. She wrote, "How do I even begin to talk about this subject? I know that this is the reason why I must. It is one of those taboo subjects that is whispered about in corners with shocked and disappointed looks. Until someone you know and love decides to end their own life, and it leaves you devastated, heartbroken and lost, and suddenly the word is tattooed in your brain and it becomes a part of your life." It is interesting that people would have shocked and disappointed looks, because shocked is one thing, but disappointed, I don't know that people, I don't know, that just creates stigma, but that's the culture she grows up in. She wrote, "I could think of nothing else. It was a nightmare I couldn't awake from. How could someone I have loved and cared about feel like they didn't want to live anymore and actually take the actions to end their own life? Did I fail? How did I not see it? What could I have done differently to prevent it? How could they be so selfish? Now, if you want to get mad at Robyn for anything she's ever said, that's a good place to start. How could they be so selfish and not realize that what the aftermath would be? Was it selfishness, or were they just in a place so dark that they couldn't climb out by themselves? How do I mourn and be angry at someone in the same minute? Angry at her brother. How could anyone get to a place in their head that not living is an answer? How is life ever the same? These thoughts plague me and still catch me off guard and leave me in pieces some days. As I later read the note, I was surprised about how much responsibility my loved one was taking in what he was about to do. I have been puzzled about how a person can get to that place. I guess there are the questions, aren't they? How? Why? I have started to realize that this isn't really just one answer. There are many. Whether it can be clinical depression, situational depression, anxiety, a broken heart, fear, pain, or confusion, it is all hard. Life can be hard, but there's always help. I wish my loved one would have realized that. I remember what I was doing the night he was alone writing this letter. The thought takes my breath away. Does that sound familiar? I wish so bad he could have picked up the phone and called me. I would have done anything I could to help him. I wish I could have been there that day to tell him. They have a very unfortunate belief system where this type of death in the AUB is looked at as an unpardonable sin. They look at it as the same as committing this against someone else. So they view it as a crime in the AUB, a crime against a person. And they view it the same capacity as if someone else took someone else's life. There's a lot of stigma in the AUB about this. Family members don't understand and comprehend the severity of mental illness and how mental health can play a role in this. So she doesn't necessarily understand all of this. And even in writing this, she frankly doesn't understand that she says, I wish he would have called me. She could have called him. Why didn't she check in with her brother? She wrote, awareness needs to be brought to the subject. It needs to be talked about out loud. Even now as I write this, I am being careful about how much I disclose so I can protect his family. It's her brother. If this wasn't such a taboo subject, then maybe more could be prevented. More people need to realize there is help, there are resources, and it's okay to ask for help. There's always people that care more than you can even realize. I've designated a piece of jewelry in honor of my loved one and his family. It's her brother. I have thought of my loved one throughout the design process, and I hope he is pleased with what I have designed for him. I pray that maybe I can give someone hope and help them choose to keep going because their story needs to continue. Every life counts. So she has been well aware of what can happen in this culture with young men and the risks that they face. And she's well aware that in this culture, it's not understood or not cared for. And I only wish if she could go back in time, if I was going to criticize anything about her she wrote this 7 years ago, is I wish she would have learned from what happened with her brother to know that Cody's behavior and his alienation of his sons was placing them in the same vulnerable position as her brothers. And if Robyn would have spent time to really understand and bring awareness for herself and not monetize on her brother's passing, I mean, her response was to monetize her brother's passing. She didn't monetize Garrison's, she monetized her brother's, and she gave a portion to charity. If she would have actually spent the time understanding the risks of this, she would know that one of the risks is alienation and separation from families, family disputes and family divisions, shunning, being verbally and emotionally harmed, being degraded, shamed, and bullied. She should have known the risks and understood that what Cody and her were doing were contributing to risk factors for two boys that they were targeting on a show for years. So people can be outraged and say that she is profiting off of this. I'm just more outraged that she didn't learn from the first one. And it's not to say that she's even responsible for her brothers, but you would have hoped that she would have guided her life with more sensitivity and understanding to others, knowing that you never know when the last day is going to be yours. Robyn isn't going to be silent forever. She will probably talk about this on the show, but I don't expect her to say anything on social media. If you go back and read this, you might feel rightful rage. And hey, it's fine to be angry. But just remember that it was Garrison who chose to make that decision that day. Robyn didn't make that decision. Cody didn't make that decision. It was Garrison. And yes, disputes with them absolutely contribute to it. And yes, he was absolutely saddened and frustrated and angry and feeling hopeless. And it's just sad that Robyn didn't learn from or educate herself better on what she could have done. But it's all like would've, could've, should've. So if you're going to interact with the Brown family on social media, use your words kindly. If you have something to say, use your own platform or say it in my comments. But saying it to them, if it's cruel and mean, I just don't see how it will benefit them. Garrison's life mattered. He meant something. There are resources if you need help. 988 is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and it has been listed in my description box all week long. Thank you so much for listening. Make sure to leave a comment if you have something to say about this video. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. And if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. Bye, guys.